Hi, Gregory.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
How are the first days at Watches and Wonders?
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah, we have very good. The booth is very interesting, and we like to shake a bit the watchmaking industry. And this year is okay.
Yeah. It's full of color, full of very strong colors. So you have a very hyperbolistic theme this year, and that gets to some of my first question. We can see originality, but there to interpret haute horlogerie in a very modern way, but without forgetting from where it comes. So the question is, what does Roger Dubuis states now?
I think the philosophy of the brand since the beginning is all the time the same. The idea of Mr. Dubuis when he created the company in 1995, it was really to come with something new in watchmaking industry, but with the respect of the tradition watchmaking. It was not good to come with quartz movement. It was really to respect the watchmaking tradition. And when he started the company, he starts with a very original movement, retrograde movement, and very original shape. And today, we continue in this direction. And in fact, in the brand, we have three different, to define our playground, we have three different elements. The first one is the haute horlogerie. We want to play in the world of haute horlogerie with the four big complications, with the Geneva seal. That it's really our DNA because first, we are watchmaker. Second is the expressivity, and here it's a good example. The booth is very expressive, our product is expressive. It's the second element. And the third one, it's really the modernity. We want to be modern, and for that we challenge all the time ourselves to continue to have the perception of the brand continue to be young and modern. And that is the vision.
To have a language that is continuing in a logical way.
Yeah, but the impact of that, it's we don't like the vintage approach. Our vision is all the time to come with an evolution in terms of design. We don't want to come back. Yeah,
Clearly.
it's a small evolution, but every year we come with new idea, new technology, new materials, new complication. It's really the vision of the one. On the playground, it's the contraction of these three elements: high watchmaking, expressivity, and modernity. And when you have these three elements, it's a world of Roger Dubuis, and we call that the hyper horloge.
What led to coining this term of hyperhorology? Because I've noticed you have a trademark for hyperhorology. What led to coin this hyperlative? To the need to make this is our way, hyperhorology, this is Roger Dubuis. We will stand it forever hours.
Because hyper is when you push the limit beyond, and this really it is really our motivation to push all the time the limit beyond. And you have horology, haute horlogerie, hyper horlogerie. It's all the time beyond, and it's also our vision or our philosophy to push the boundary.
To be at the highest peak.
Yeah.
To keep with the term.
Yeah, and for sure we have trademark for hyper horlogy. We have, and it's a good news. And we was very surprised. We was the first brand to have the idea to trademark that.
Yeah, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You have launched a unique piece, the monovortex split seconds chronograph. What it represents for Roger Dubuis?
It's a very important step. We start the story about the gravity a long time ago, with the tourbillon, with the double tourbillon, quatuor, double balance wheel, double tourbillon incline. It was an obsession of Mr. Dubuis to control the gravity because it's one of the nightmare of the watchmaker. And last year we come with the Night of the Round Table with the central tourbillon. And the idea of this product it was to show our quest, our mastery of the gravity. It was the first
And materials.
It was the first step, and this year we come with this concept with two elements. The gravity sometimes is good because for automatic it's good.
Yeah, you need to wind it.
You need to use that, and sometimes it's very bad. And the good example is for the oscillation of the precision of the watch. It's very bad. We have one solution is the tourbillon to regulate the precision of the watch, to compensate the gravity. But the idea of this year is to come with a new approach. The idea was to put a balance wheel in a conical cage, to have a conical trajectory, to simulate all the 3D position every 2 minutes. And for that, it's a solution. It's a proposition. And the idea is really, the objective is really to understand what happened in the watch, to understand what happened, and after to have the possibility to develop other complications or other terms. And in another way, we have the micro rotor. We work on automatic. We want to optimize and to use the gravity to ring the watch. And for that, during the last few years, we miniaturize our micro rotor. We start by normal oscillating mass, double micro rotor, single micro rotor skeletonized. And today it's possible to turn the angle and to have the micro rotor to turn in another position, in a vertical position. The main advantage of that is when you move, with a normal watch, you move your elbow to have the good momentum. For this kind of mechanism, you move your wrist. And during the day, you move more your wrist than your elbow.
It's a more natural. It's almost a more natural.
Exactly.
Than the classic.
Exactly. And the idea of this turbo rotor was really to study the efficiency of the movement of the wrist. And for that, the idea today, it's really to study all of that from 0G to 30G.
Okay.
To understand everything in the automatic, but also in the tourbillon. And that it's the perfect piece to do. And we will study a lot. And after we will develop new automatic, we will develop new tourbillon.
What were the difficulties encountered? Because you have now a three-dimensional movement. It's not just a plane thing where everything is on plane. You have several planes, you have volumes. What were the difficulties to create this movement? Because you have a lot of mechanical stress. You have to deliver the movement from balance wheel from rotor to the barrel, from barrel to the balance wheel.
The main challenge in the watchmaking industry, we don't have a lot of space. And we must to optimize everything. It's our main challenge. But the worst thing with the gear, it's when you change the angle. In this position, it's very efficient.
Yeah.
If you move the angle, you lose
an extra error.
Exactly. And when you go in 90 degrees, it's really the worst position. And for the big challenge for this one, it's to start to play with this kind of angle to optimize everything to have a good efficiency.
So the movement is done classical in brass, or you use also very not traditional materials for the movement?
For the movement is brass today, but for the future we will certainly change some element. It's really linked to the shock absorption. Here it's not. We will not shock the test a lot is not the objective of this watch. It's really to understand what happened inside. But for the future, for sure, we will optimize some of.
The watch is very colorful. You have new materials in the
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
I noticed several, a little bit of gold, a little bit of red, a little bit of.
The red. For me, the most challenging color to develop, it's two colors. It's the white, because today we have ceramic. In the past we have ceramic and nothing else. We develop a white composite, and the second one is the red, because to have a full red material, it's a big problem, because the red color is linked to the element, chemical element is toxic for the human body. It's the reason why it's very hard to have red element or red pigment.
You need a stable material, but at the same time to be safe.
Exactly. To have red is not a problem. To have red but safe, that become a problem. And we developed this specific composite in red, and today it's okay. It's clean, no problem. And the idea was really to mix that with original color. On pingle on red, it's not really usual in watchmaking industry. And for us, it was very interesting to start to play with this color and maybe to create a new trend. But the material is a world premiere. It's not possible to patent this kind of material for many reasons, but we have the exclusivity of the material, and it's not possible for the brand to use.
You have your own recipe, so you're safe. So monovoltaics can be seen as a new start for materials, for mechanics.
For me, it's not a new start. We start with the tourbillon in Roger Dubuis a long time ago, but
it's an evolution.
It's a new step.
It's a new step
because we move from experimental approach to scientific approach. And we really want to understand everything in a tourbillon linked to the gravity. And that is our quest. And in the future, we will come with a lot of technical arguments. We will explain why it is better, and it's really the vision we have.
So you intend to use bits and pieces from this monovoltaics,
for sure.
Like the pink line, the balance wheel, the very interesting chronograph. It's a very three-dimensional. It's spectacular.
And for me, this piece is really the perfect example of the philosophy of the brand, with the three circles. First one, expressivity. In terms of design, the movement is incredible. We come with a new material, and we mix that with pingle. It's very modern approach. It's very contemporary approach. And for the watchmaking, we have a new interpretation of the tourbillon, but we have also a chronograph, split second, very traditional construction. And for us, it's really the perfect mix. When you see the chronograph, it's really watchmaking. It's a very traditional and high-end chronograph. And when you see the face, the back, and you see the tunnel, and you see the face, you say, oh, it's very modern watch, it's totally crazy. And that is the bivalence of the brand. We are a bit crazy, but we respect all the time the watchmaking tradition.
It's a very interesting concept. I know that you have here also a very special watch that I really love. I loved it from the first picture.
This piece is incredible.
This is incredible. So tell me more about the materials you use. It's like what we saw in the last years, the evolution of Murano glass.
No, that is another Murano glass we use for the night of the round table. But for this kind, it in effect is the same, but we are more in a technological way. That it's the synthetic garnet. That is a half precious stone. That is a stone, but we do that. We made that in laboratory. Two reasons of that. first one is the size of the cut. Cut is big.
It's very big, and it's also it's curved.
Yeah, it's curved. And the challenge is when if you need to start by a stone like this, but you lose everything else. And for us, it was not current to destroy natural stone. And that was the first thing. The other thing is we like the color, and it's very important to have very strong color in this kind of way. And it's possible to play more with the color. And the last thing, it's the luminescence, because it's possible also with synthetic stone to put some elements inside luminescent
So
elements.
it's behind,
Inside.
inside.
A part is inside, a part is behind.
Okay.
But we play with this two level. And for us, that it's really a vision. When we start this project, the vision was to play with the biggest stone, to have a lot of color. That was really the philosophy behind the project. And after, we find the solution to achieve that. And when
And
you
the
go in UV,
And the bridges, how are the bridges?
this bridge is
Printed or coated? What's the
this one. The color, it's the same stone than the.
It's the same stone cut
yes,
in
it's
the shape of the
yeah.
bridge.
The same material.
Oh wow!
And because we have some time a bit crazy, Roger Dubuis,
I
we put also in the back.
yeah, also in the back.
But that it's the same stone than this one. It's the same
It's
color.
cut in a shape and it's also
Exactly.
a little bit.
It's totally crazy. And this is the only solution to have the same color for the day and also for the night.
And the model seen on the bridge is part of the crystal, or it's like engraved with.
Which one?
So on the bridge you have this model, these lines.
The line,
Yeah.
it's we put luminescent painting to have more
a new
effect.
addition.
Yeah.
And also make a little
And
bit of
you see
contrast.
also here, you see the line.
Mhm.
We really play with that. But this piece is just incredible. We have also trademark for the name of the stone, and patent also for the stone. We like to protect our creativity.
That's a very good idea. Gregory, thank you very much for
Thank
your
you,
time. Have a nice fair.
Thank you.
And be prepared for some next question with some emails or something.
Don't hesitate. I have all the answer normally.
Thank you very much.
It is all the time a pleasure to share the creativity on the brand and the crazy.